Okay. Hi everybody, this is Tina Plackinger. Welcome to my channel where I read out of my daily devotional called Treading on Serpents. All right, this is April 2nd. It's kind of long. All right. The quote I'm using is from Julius Richter, or Richter. The burden of suffering seems to be a tombstone hung around our necks. Yet in reality, it is simply the weight necessary to hold the diver down while he or she is searching for pearls. When God calls us to do something, it is not unusual to find excuses why we cannot do it. Most of us are living lower than ever after years of being gang-stalked and ripped off. How could we fulfill a calling from God? We might be living without running water, or our computer is old and slow, or we are watched so closely. How do we pull it off? In the book of Judges, the Israelites were oppressed by the people of the East known as the Midianites. The Israelites were made to live in caves, while the Midianites set up tents all around them so they could be watched. This is similar to how we live, with perpetrators as our neighbors. The Israelites got knocked down every time they did something good for themselves. Just as oppressed and harassed as we are today, the Israelites were outnumbered, outpowered, and impoverished. Whenever they planted vegetable seeds in their gardens, the Midianites snuck over and pulled them up from the roots. Another example of finding excuses is when the Lord told Gideon to save Israel. Gideon told God why he could not do such an important thing. First, his bloodline was poor, and secondly, he was the least important of his family. The Lord assured Gideon that he would surely be with him in whatever he called him to do. And that's found in Judges 6:16. Our excuses may sound legitimate to us, but nothing is impossible with God. If he calls us to do something, he will supply all our needs. And we will be under an umbrella of protection. This does not mean our calling is going to be a cakewalk. We will always have tribulation in this unjust and evil world. We overcome it by faith. Today's affirmation is, God, help me to see that it is because of my position you are calling me, and not that I am unable to do it because of my position. When I was writing this book, I remember when I found out about the Midianites, how they encamped around the Israelites. They made them homeless. They lived in caves, and there they were trying to survive and, plant some food and trying to survive. And the Midianites would go over there and sabotage the Israelites' efforts. And I just remember learning about that, thinking, what doesn't the Bible have in it? I mean, it seems like that's gang stalking, that's harassment, that's surveillance right there. You know, that's property damage, that's thievery, that's all the stuff that we deal with in gang stalking, and it's in the Bible. And I just found it really interesting, that's all. And so I thought I would write a little bit about it because, you know, I've heard that there's nothing new under the sun. And maybe not, you know. Anyways, we stay in the fight. We live one day at a time. We focus on Jesus. And we take care of ourselves. And we keep our faith. They want our faith. They want our faith. So we keep it. And sometimes those things that we have to deal with in life that we feel are weighing us down really aren't weighing us down. They're making us become who we need to be to fulfill God's plan for our life. So if you're being called to do something, which I'm sure you are, because that's what this is about, end time warriors, you might think that, oh, I can't do it. How can I do it? How can I do that? They watch me too closely. They listen to me too much. I mean, I know people who don't want to pray in the Spirit. They don't want to pray out loud because of the neighbors listening to them. I was there. It's not cool. And then I had some neighbors that listened to my prayers, and then I was praying for a home. And I was decreeing and declaring and all kinds of things like that. And these creeps, these idiots, as Andrew Boswell would call them, these idiots would listen and then set me up where the things that I was praying for in the privacy of my own home were coming to fruition in my mind, but it was them. So, anyways, we stay in the fight. We live one day at a time. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you guys soon.